Good morning everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I've got my weigh-in update for you guys. So before I get into that, I just want to give a quick brief history of my journey over the past few years for those that are new to my channel. I started Slim World officially in January 2019 and I ended up losing, I think it was just over 4 stone that I lost on Slim World over the course of 2 years. And then last year, I think it was March, April, May time, I can't quite remember exactly, I was really struggling to lose the last few pounds to get to target. So I decided to switch to calorie counting, which a lot of people were doing at the time, and I was watching a lot of other YouTubers and seeing the great results that they were having on calorie counting, and I just thought I'm going to give it a try for a couple of weeks. So I did. I eventually got to target. My target weight was 10 stone. So in total I ended up losing 4.5 stone, or 4 stone. I don't think it was quite 4.5. I think it was 4 stone, 4 pound I lost in total. It did take me just over 2 years to get there, and at the end with a little help for calorie counting, and I decided to stay on calorie counting because I thought that would be a better way to maintain my weight rather than being so structured the way Slim World is. So I've been on that. I had been on that since springtime last year, and this year I've just not really been loving calorie counting. I've been trying to get back to it. Well, I did in January, and midway through to February I was doing great, but the rest of the time I've been pretty much up and down with it. I did gain quite a bit of stone or something over Christmas. I did lose some of that, but I think over the past however many months it's been since February, what is it? March, April, May, June, July, August. So it's been like 6 months or so. I've just been pretty much up and down. I have been more on it than I have been off it, but you're not going to lose weight when you're off it quite a lot as well. I think it's been, the balance has been maybe 80% on, 20% off, and that 20% on has made me gain a little bit more weight. 20% off, sorry, made me gain a little bit more weight. The weight gain's not too much what's concerning me. I was just getting really bored on calorie counting. I wasn't feeling inspired with the food that I was making. It was making me such a lazy cook as well. A lot of processed foods, oven ready, easy to chuck in the oven and all that, and that's just not me. Even before I started Slim World, that just wasn't me as well. I was always like a make from scratch and all that, but at the same time I was working part-time way up before I started Slim World, and during Slim World it's just been in the last wee while that I've been full-time, up really early in the morning, and it's just making me quite lazy as well. So I thought I want to go back to Slim World. I was inspired, I was looking for inspiration on my old Slim World videos, and that actually inspired me to go back to Slim World. When I say go back to Slim World, I've not actually officially went back to Slim World. I'm doing it from home. I did join a group when I first started Slim World in 2019. I went there for about 3 months, and it really wasn't, it wasn't a bad experience, but it just wasn't, I just didn't find it useful. I didn't find it pleasant. I just thought I'd just be as well doing it from home. So over the course of mostly 2 years, I've done it from home, and I'm doing it again. I just want the structure back of eating a healthy, balanced diet and feeling inspired food-wise. And so far, I'm really loving being back on Slim World. It's absolutely brilliant. I just feel so much better in myself. I'm not naive. I know that feeling's not going to last. I know it's going to, mellow out and taper off at one point, and then I'll just be doing it without any kind of excitement or that. I might even get a little bit annoyed and a little bit bored and want to stray off plan for days on end, and that. I'm not naive. I know that'll happen at some point, but while the feeling's so fresh and exciting, I'm just really going to enjoy it and run with it. The best way I can describe being back on Slim World, other than exciting or inspiring, it's just like a really comforting feeling, like when you've been on holiday and you're so happy to get home and into your own bed. That's what it feels like being back on Slim World. And I've really been enjoying all the meals that I've been cooking, which it's weird because on work days I can never be bothered cooking. after being at work and running around like a blue arse flea, I can just, I'm always just like, oh my god, I've got to cook. Even now on Summer World, I'm just like, oh my god, I've got to cook. Which is why I did get so bored on calorie count, because I could never be bothered cooking. So I was just thrown in the oven, whatever was easiest and quickest and that I can get out fastest. But most of the meals that I'm cooking right now, not all of them, because there are some that are still quick and easy, healthy but quick and easy. Most of the meals that I'm cooking right now do require some sort of food prep, which is actually the bit that I can never be bothered doing. It's not actually the cooking part, because once you've done the food prep and prepared the food, it's the cooking doesn't really take that long. It's always the food prep that trips me up. And even though I do still have days I'm like, I can't be bothered doing it, I'm so happy when I'm eating the results that I have done it. Even though I haven't made anything really that I haven't made before, it's all meals that I've tried before and I've ate plenty of times before. Nothing's new. It's just when I'm eating the results, I'm just so happy that I've made the effort to make it. It tastes so better when I've actually made an effort to make it from scratch or put in the effort for the food prep and that. For example, tacos and fajitas and that, I went through most of Summer World making my own. Right before I went on a calorie counting, I was making my own seasonings for tacos and fajitas. And then on calorie counting, I just got into this really bad habit of buying the shop bought sachets for them, which are honestly perfectly fine. They're really tasty, but they're not as good as when I make them from scratch. And even Ali's commented how good they tasted compared to normal. And I was like, it's because I've made them from scratch. It was my own seasoning. And when you make your own seasoning, you can make it to how you like it, how you prefer, like slightly spicier or a little bit more salt or less salt even. So not only have I been enjoying the benefits of this newfound inspiration, being back on Slimming World, love for cooking and all that. I wouldn't go so far to say love for cooking, just really been enjoying the meals that I've been having. But Ali's also been enjoying the benefits of it as well. And before I forget, because I never mentioned this in last week's video, but while it's in my head right now, I want to mention it quickly. There's one more thing that's changed since I was on Slimming World last, and that is that I'm no longer a proper nighttime eater. If you'd watched any of my videos before when I was on Slimming World, one of my biggest struggle, if not my biggest struggle, was always that I was a nighttime eater. And I know a lot of you guys are the same as well, because you've told me in the comments and that I was always a nighttime muncher. But now I'm actually, I don't do that. I want to say that it's completely gone for good. I don't think it is, but I get up at 4:30 in the morning for work, and as you can imagine, I'm in my bed pretty early at night. So the last meal I always have is my dinner. I don't eat after that, mostly because I'm sleeping. So it's not like I've made a conscious effort to kick that habit. It's because my sleeping routine, my work routine and everything has kind of made me kick that habit. Although there has been times, like when I was on holiday, when I came back from London, there was one or two nights where I did, pick up that habit again, slipped back into my old habit and that. But when I'm working and I'm up early, in bed early, I'm no longer doing that, and I'm happy with that. I'm happy that even though I didn't kick the habit myself or make a conscious effort to kick that habit, I'm happy that the habit, for the most part, is not an issue to me anymore, because most of the time I am working. Even on my days off, like the holiday was an exception, the week off was an exception because I was up later in the morning, up later at night. But even on my days off, I'm still up pretty early because my stupid body clock. I get up honestly, anytime between 5 and 7 o'clock in the morning, mostly on the earlier side. And again, I'm in bed early and that as well. So even on my days off, it's not an issue anymore. So as for this past week on Slimming World, it has been really good, really good. Like I said, I've enjoyed all my meals. And I did have one off-plan meal on Friday, right at the start of the week. It was my away day. It was a birthday night out, a birthday meal out with my brother. which I really enjoyed. Miller and Carter was really lovely. I ate way too much, but I didn't feel one single bit of guilt because it was an off-plan meal. I was there to enjoy myself. And apart from that one off-plan meal, everything else has been 100% on plan. Well, I say I was 98% on plan this past week. I was worried, I think I've already said this in one video, God. I was worried that I was going to wake up with like the hangover munchies on the Saturday, but I didn't. I made sure while I was drinking and that on the Friday night that I drank plenty of water. I try to always do that when I'm drinking because I flipping hate hangovers. The one thing that I never used to drink for years unless it was just Christmas or that, but the one thing that always put me off drinking was the hangovers. So I always, now when I drink, I always have like a glass of wine and I drink a glass of water and, you know, try to put off having a hangover the next day, and it actually works, by the way. So there's a good tip for you if you don't want to have a horrible hangover the next day. Drink plenty of water as you're drinking the alcohol. But like I said, apart from that one off-plan meal, I was 100%, 98% on plan. I didn't alter anything else throughout the week because of that off-plan meal. Didn't lower my sins, have SP meals. Well, I did, but it was an accident. I didn't try and pull it back or claw it back in any way. Like I said, I'm in no hurry to get to my target. I'm just doing it easy, oozy, not putting too much pressure on myself. The only thing that I want to do is stay on plan apart from the planned off-plan days that I have. I'm just taking it easy. I do feel a lot less stressed about losing weight this time than I did when I started in January 2019. Granted, I had a lot more to lose then, and also I've been there and done it before. I know I can do it. First time I didn't really know that I could do it because it was the first time. When I started in January 2019, that was the first time that I really wanted to lose the weight, and I really didn't want to fail because I'd always failed before any time I'd tried to go on a diet or lose weight. But something happened in January 2019 and it just clicked. I think being on YouTube and documenting my journey helped a lot. But also I could feel it when I started. I could feel it when I started that I really was determined that I wanted to lose that weight. And I have always said that I'm going to always be up and down and on a journey with my weight. I've said it since the start. I know I'm going to have good days and bad days, good weeks and bad weeks, good months and bad months, and my kryptonite is Christmas when I really just want to enjoy all the Christmas food without any guilt and try and be on plan as much as I can over Christmas, but I always, maybe in 2 weeks, start falling off it. That's my kryptonite, is Christmas. You guys know that. I forgot what my original point was because I've just blathered so much already. Oh, my point was that I don't feel as much pressure this time as I did when I started in January 2019. Because I had never been able to achieve it before, I didn't know that I could do it, and I was just so determined and stressing and everything like that. But this time, I know I can do it. I've done it before. I know I can do it. So I'm just more relaxed about it this time. That being said, when I stepped on the scale this morning, you could have knocked me over with a feather. I got such a shock that I had to step off the scale, step back on it again, and then again, and then again. I was so flipping shocked at the results that I got on the scale this morning. I actually pulled out my old scales, which for some reason I still have, and checked it on that to make sure that the scales were in agreement, which they were. I also got like a 2 kilo measurement, like a weight thing, and checked that. It was working perfectly fine. I honestly thought my scales were broken. I was just so shocked at the results that I could not flipping believe. I could not, like, it wasn't sinking in that that was the actual results that I had this week, because in the past week, I've lost 5.5 pounds. 5.5 pound. Like, what? I was shocked last week when I lost 4.5 pound because that had been the most that I'd ever lost on this leg of my Slimming World journey since January 2019. 4.5 pound is the most I've ever lost in a single week. So when I saw that I'd lost 5.5 pound, I was just like, honestly, must have stepped on and off the scale about 20 times this morning. I could not believe it. I could not flipping get over it. And the weird thing is that was with one off-plan meal as well. I wasn't expecting a great loss this week. Honestly, if I'm having an off-plan meal, I do not expect any loss on the scale. I would have just been happy with a maintain this week. But £5.5? What the hell? And it's not even like I've done a whole lot of exercise as well. I'm not doing any extra exercise at the minute anyway. Granted, at work, I do run about like a blue arse flea for the whole time I'm at work. I'm just like a little busy bee, constantly moving about, and I've not worn my Fitbit for ages, to be honest with you, but when I was wearing it, I was clocking over 15,000, 20,000 steps a day, so it's not like I'm lazy at work. I'm lazy at home now, like, because I'm so knackered for running about at work, but not done any exercise really. I don't know what I've done to achieve that loss. I do not know what I've done to achieve that loss. I don't think I really deserve that loss, especially with off-plan meal. I told one of my brothers how much I'd lost, and he joked I must have sweated it all out because it's been the hottest week of the year this year. For years actually, it's been the hottest week of the year. He was only joking, but I think must be something in that, because I did sweat a lot at night time and that, trying to get to sleep. I love the hot weather. I absolutely loved it. The only thing that I didn't like about it was when I was trying to get to sleep at night and I was just lying in bed on top of my covers, just sweating. Like, I wasn't even moving and I would sweat, and my windows were open and everything, and I was just sweating. So maybe my brother's right. Maybe I did sweat off that way. It's the only thing that I can think of that actually was different this week, was just the heat, the sheer heat that we had this week. Anyway, to say I'm happy with that loss would be a complete understatement. But honestly, I'm probably more shocked about it than I am happy about it. I still can't get over it. I still can't get over it. So that actually means in the last 2 weeks since I started back on Slim and World, I've lost a total of £10 and I've reached my half stone milestone. I was 11.6 when I started. I was 11.5 last week. I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head, so forgive me if I get it wrong. I'll put it on the screen if I am wrong, but I don't think I am. 11.6, 11.5, and then I was 10.10 this morning. So I've only got £10 to go until I'm back on target again. Do I think it's going to be easy as the last couple of weeks? Hell no. I'm going to be in for a rude awakening soon. I know how Slim and World works. I've been here before, guys. I know I'm not going to have these kind of losses every week. I don't say I've only got £10 to go till target like I think it's going to be easy. I know the closer that I get to target, the harder it's going to be, which is one of the reasons I ended up switching to calorie counting in the first place last year, because I was struggling to get off the last few pounds to get to my target while I was on Slim and World last year. And I'm pretty sure with 2 big losses back to back that my losses from now on are not going to be that big. I almost said significant there, but that's not true, because when you're trying to lose weight, any kind of loss is significant. Any kind of loss is significant. And I honestly will celebrate a £0.5 loss as much as I celebrate this £5.5 loss. I might not be as shocked about it, because that's pretty much me. I do get £0.5, £1.5. I think £3 been my most loss in 1 week before the last couple of weeks. But I will celebrate a £0.5 loss as much as I celebrate a £5.5 loss, because honestly guys, any losses again. And that is it for this week's weighing update. Please let me know how you guys are all doing in the comments below, and thank you so much to everyone for all your lovely comments on all the recent Slim and World videos. Something tells me you guys are happy I'm back on Slim and World. I might be wrong about that, but I just feel that people are definitely happier that I'm back on Slim and World as opposed to calorie counting. But thank you for all the lovely comments I've been receiving recently. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like it if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.